W204 front brake pads. The first step is going to be to jack up the car and remove the wheel. It's going to be a 17 millimeter lug stud there, so go ahead and do that. So the next step is going to be to remove the 13 millimeter bolt there, and on bottom here, right here, and then that will allow you to, if it'll focus up, that will allow you to remove the caliper from the caliper bracket. Alright, so once you've got the two 13 millimeters top and bottom loosened, you can pull the caliper off the pads, and the pads should wiggle out with a little bit of persuasion. And oh my God, look at this pad. It'll focus. That's ridiculous. Alright, so here are the brand new brake pads down here, and oh my goodness, this brake pad had no material left. It was just steel. It was the steel backing plate on the disc, basically. So these discs, they still have a decent amount of material. You know, it might not be a bad idea to replace them, but I'm just going to run them as is and then replace later if need be. So these needed doing badly. Alright, so the next step is going to be to take out these little clips that the pads ride along. They should just be able to come out by hand. And there should be ones on top and bottom. Let's see, there we go. Easy enough. And new ones should come with the brake pads that you buy. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and take the new clip and install it in this orientation with like this bridge part outside of the rotor. And it might take a little wiggling, but it should just snap down. Kind of like that. Alright, so here are the new brackets, or new clips in the caliper, or in the brake caliper holder. I put the kind of this bridge side out of the rotor, and make sure you put them top and bottom, both sides. And it doesn't; these are universal, so it doesn't matter which place they go. So the next step is to compress the caliper piston so that you can fit the new pads on. So what I've done is I've taken a 6-inch C-clamp and put a piece of wood over the piston so I don't cock the piston in the bore. And I'm just slowly tightening this clamp up to push the piston back into the caliper. So here I've got my brake pads ready to go in. They are directional. One of them, the inner one, has an arrow on it. It also has this cutout for the piston. So make sure when you put them on, at least if they are directional, make sure that arrow is going in the rotation of the wheel. Alright, so I've just put a little bit of grease on the tabs that the pads slide on, and then a little bit of lubricant on the back of the pads so that they don't squeal in the case of like a high-speed vibration. Alright, so the new pads are in. To do it, I kind of put the inner part in first and then twisted the pad in kind of like that. I had to wrestle with it a little bit, but not a big deal. The caliper is back on over the new pads, so now it's time to install the new hardware. These are the 13 millimeters that go in the back here into the sliding pins, and your set should come with new hardware. So we're just going to want to pop those in there, and then it's a 13 on the end here, and then this also spins, and this is a 17 millimeter. So you're going to want a 13 and a 17 to tighten this down. I haven't seen a torque spec, but I'd say about 40 foot-pounds or nice and snug should be fine.